Okay, I just recorded this video without microphone being on the right track, so there was no... Yeah. There was no narrative or narration at all, right? It was just me hovering on webcam, right? But all right, so brief hovering tutorial. There's a couple other tutorials out there. Everybody hovers a little bit differently, as far as I can tell. So I'm just going to show you what works for me. Move the cam up a little bit. This isn't actually where I sit normally. I don't have my TV on either, so I'm just looking at OBS. You don't really need to see the game to hover, but okay, so I guess the first thing is you need a nice firm grip on the controller. I use my left hand to grip the controller. I'm left-handed, or right-handed. So what I do is I have my thumb on top. Kind of, here's the knuckle, you know, kind of like near the ball of my thumb, I guess. Thumb is really clamped down there next to the spot where the wire comes out. Hard to get a good camera angle on it. And then my middle finger and my index finger and my ring finger are kind of holding the controller very firmly in place, because we're going to need to put a lot of pressure. Well, not a lot, but but a fair amount of pressure on the A button at the top of the controller. Or I guess what I call the top of the controller. It's actually the right side of the controller. We're going to need a lot of pressure near the button side, so we got to hold it firmly in the center so that it doesn't, you don't want your controller like crickety, crackling, moving around, none of that. So a lot of people will put the controller over their knee. I never had a ton of luck with that. I put the controller against my gut, just like this, and then I have my other hand, my right hand, kind of on I guess the armrest of my chair, actually, just to kind of keep it steady, right? And I kind of move these two fingernails, index and middle. I kind of have the A button in between those fingernails, and then I kind of rub the A button back and forth. And what it's doing is it's pushing the A button down for between 1 and 30 frames, and then it's releasing the A button for one single frame, and then pressing it again, and that's what's letting us hover, right? So you'll know you're too heavy-handed on the A button if you are hovering extremely slowly and you're seeing a lot of like dash animation between each movement. Means you're being a little too heavy-handed. You're pushing down too hard on the controller, or you're trying to go too fast. Because if you're really going fast with your fingers, there's a chance you're going to skip that one frame release. So the rhythm is important and the pressure is important. Two most important factors. You can dial in the pressure and the rhythm. I mean, you'll be able to see in the video how fast I go, I guess. It's more like a... I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, I use my ring finger right here over the D-pad to control which direction I'm going. And some directions are easier than others, kind of just how it goes. So yeah, I stick the controller in my gut. I hold it very firmly with the index and the thumb mainly, and the middle finger is doing some extra support, right? And then yeah, arm on the armrest. I usually do a little warm-up, and I'm looking for a Link to kind of be bobbing a lot. I want him bobbing a lot, but I don't want him actually dashing. Like that was too heavy-handed on the A button, and he ended up actually dashing. But yeah, once I kind of see his head bobbing, It's when it's go time. Right, there you go. Easier said than done. Hovering is, yeah, it's extremely difficult. Anybody who's telling you it's easy is lying. When you first try to hover, you will think it's impossible. I sure did. I never thought I was going to be able to hover in this game. But if you keep practicing and keep making an effort to hover, and you have a controller that can hover, you should be okay. It definitely does vary on the controllers. My controllers have been opened up, cleaned out. I've replaced the rubber pads in them with the ones from Japan from Top Gear Games. You can buy them in 100 packs. For the the button side and the D-pad side, they sell them separately, but you can buy pads for both. I got 100 pack of each. And that's what I use. They took some break-in. When I first learned to hover on these pads, they were way more sensitive than they are now. It's well broken in now. So my fingers are pretty close together. Like, they're like that. I think when I first started hovering, I was using a pen. And that's something that a lot of people recommend. I think P-Train or somebody kind of started that, or at least started recommending it, is putting a pen between your knuckles. I have a screwdriver. I don't have a pen handy, but it's kind of hard to see with the lighting. But I have a pen or a screwdriver right there between those two first knuckles, right? And then my nails are free on the underside, so I can just take, and then, you have this thing sticking out back towards your wrist, but it's going to be out of the way. It's not going to bother you. A lot of people learn to hover with that, myself included. I don't know if I can do it like that anymore. I eventually weaned myself off the pen. But yeah, actually, it seems fine. I might have to move my hand a little bit faster than I normally would. Oops. Going the wrong way. Yeah, a lot of people are into the pen method. I kind of got used to not using it anymore. A lot of other people will recommend trying to learn hovering on your knee. I didn't have a ton of luck with this personally. I was messing around with this earlier, and I did have some luck. So I have it on my left knee. I'm holding it down pretty firmly with my ring finger, middle finger, thumb. Then I've got my right hand over the A button, just like normal. Maybe I'll twist it a little bit so it's kind of like that. Some people will also do it the opposite way, where they have the controller like this, and they have their fingernails, their knuckles are actually over the B and X buttons. I can never do this because I have to accidentally hit the X button all the time, but it's definitely an option as well. See if I can do the over the knee. It's a little, yeah, this isn't my normal setup, but some people like it. I don't see Link bobbing. Damn, got pretty close. But yeah, mess around with it. Shit. It's not as easy as it looks. And A Link to the Past randomizer players are pretty hardcore, so... Yeah, I'm not having much luck with the knee. Oops. A little too heavy-handed, it seems. Yeah, I don't know. I just had better luck sticking the controller right here in my gut. But, you know, do what works for you. And then, yeah, try when you're first starting out, try and figure out if you're holding down the A button too long or not enough. That's about the only troubleshooting you're going to get. So, like, record yourself. Especially with the input displays on the ROM hack, Link to the Past practice ROM has the input display on the screen, and that's really, really handy. So you can see the, exactly how long you're holding down these buttons for. Yeah, probably via video is the best way, or maybe if you're watching on the screen, if you're just watching the input display when you're practicing hovering, you can figure it out. But I wish you the best of luck. And I know it sucks to lose a match to, somebody that can hover over Moldorm too. But yeah, this is the only way to combat it until they ban hovering. They probably should ban hovering in competitive. It seems a little ridiculous, but yeah, that's another topic. I'm just trying to help you out with your hovers, so take care.